weekly stock commentaries where I share my personal opinion and insight of what's happening on some of the businesses, stocks listed under the Philippine stock market. If you want exclusive investing related content in the Philippine stock market, check the pinned comment. Number one, VLL announced a strategic shift to expand its high margin Vista Estates, Master Plan Development, blah blah blah. So may issue ngayon yung mga Villar companies, no? Yung mga Villar companies ngayon hindi nagsasabit ng financial statement. So si VLL, ito yung bread and butter nila matagal na. And ito rin, no? Hindi nagsasabit, no? September pa to. And si VLL, dati pa, ano na to eh, it's one of those highly leveraged na business sa property sector. So, malapit na siya sa kanyang all-time low. Oh my goodness. The Villar-led developer is betting heavily on this township project. Parang si, si Mega World, yung sobrang hilig ngayon dyan sa mga township. Using misuse case commercial and residential properties to counter. Ang alam ko nga, walang pupunta sa mga commercial nila eh. So, mga commercial properties nila like malls, yung mga retails nila. So, dahil mataas yung leverage nito and pumipitik ulit yung interest rate, mayari to. Okay. And again, di pa nagsasabit ng kanyang annual tsaka quarter, no? First quarter of 2026. Number 2, Pure Gold launch a major nationwide discount and logistics optimization program targeting sari-sari store operators and small business. With domestic inflation forecast, paakyat, di ba? BBM, anong gagawin natin? So Pure Gold is leveraging its bulk purchasing power to protect its consumer ecosystem. So kumusta Pure Gold ngayon? Okay yung kanyang Q1. May mga press release sila na parang okay pa rin daw yung kanilang or maganda pa rin yung foot traffic ng Q2. So papatapos na yung Q2, we'll see kung ano yung re-report neto. Pero, sell. Pero ano to eh, broader index na selling pressure ulit to. Diba? Yung PSEI, sell na naman siya. So, ayan 6K. Number 3, Wilcon Dipat adjusted its store expansion timeline for the second half, opting to focus on enhancing digital sales and localized supply chain efficiencies instead. Kasi to eh, parang open ng ay paawat ng bago niyang store. So resilient yung Q1 ng Wilcon and kung ma-improve nila yung kanilang efficiency, kasi packet yung neto revenues niya, except that siguro sinesale nila yung majority ng mga products nila para lang ma-maintain yung kanilang market share. Ngayon kung mag-improve yung kanilang efficiency, baka dun mag-start yung recovery ni Wilcon. The company is treading carefully due to high borrowing cost and localized inflation. Na syempre, magtitipid yung mga tao. So, may magpapagawa pa kayo ng bahay. May bibili. Malalaman natin sa Q2. Number 4, Bloom drew significant tracking volume as international tourist arrival and premium mass gaming metrics hit fresh post. May may tourist arrival na sa Pilipinas pero yung kanyang stock price still trading at all-time low. So ito yung Philippine tourist arrival na wala pa rin Pangit. So ito yung last year May, June. So far na-break niya yung kanyang yung mga buwan na to last year. Pero all in all, wala pa rin to. Ayan ito yung pre-COVID natin, dito pa rin tayo. So, mahina pa rin yung tourist arrival ng Pilipinas na pag ganyan, wala magkano yan, Wala magkakasino yan. Kasi mga local, mga Pilipino, puro online sugal ginagawa ng mga yan. So, still a struggling business. The company is seeing a steady return of foreign high rollers, providing a stable stream of foreign, wala eh. Struggling yung Q1. I think Q2 ba mag-struggle ulit yan. Number 5, Mondanisin, implementation of strict raw material cost mitigations. Okay, para siguro ma-improve yung kanilang margin. Global wheat and supply chain fluctuations have put intense pressure on manufacturing margins. Blah, blah, blah. So, kumusta yung Monde? So far, yung Q1 ng Monde is resilient and di na siya nagre-report ng impairment losses. Kung maganda Q2 neto, baka eto na or baka tapos na yung bottom neto. Number 6, Emperador. I think one of the most expensive ngayon na stock nandyan sa main index. Ayaw magbenta ng mga foreign, no? Global brandy and whiskey producer expanded its international premium liquor distribution. Okay. Kasi sa Pilipinas natalo sila eh. Tinatalo sila ng Alfonso eh. So magano na lang daw sila, no? International na premium distribution. Eastern Europe tsaka Latin America. By aggressively pushing its high-tier products in mature overseas market, the company is successfully booking robust revenues. Struggling nga eh. Last year is a struggle for the business. This year, medyo nag-grow. Pero malalaman na kasi erratic din yung si Emperador eh. May quarter siya na maganda and then biglang lalagapak na naman. So still trading around 15 na I think. Pwede to easily mga lahati yan eh. Kapag hindi naayos yung kanyang growth trajectory. So number 7, Petron, Picor. Pabagsak na yung crude oil. Kamusta yung visit na petroleum distribution ka? Wala no. Na-wipe out na yung kanyang rally no ng 2026. So yung mamaingay nung Q1 na abusive yung Petron pag tumataas yung bigla-bigla din silang tumatas. Ngayong napabagsak na yung magre-report ulit yan ng pangit na profitability. Lumulobong utang, di ba? Kasi yung mamaingay, like I told you, hindi maganda yung mga ganyang business sa Pilipinas, no? Mga oil distribution company kasi puro downstream lang sila, hindi naman sila yung takadig ng oil eh. Number 8, Costco Capital. So, Lucio Cos, Retail Holding Company, reported a strong performance. Fueled by stable consumer demand. Ano to? Outlook ba nila to sa Q2? The group is actively exploring capital allocation for small to mid-scale commercial property. Sa bagay, malaki yung cash position ng Costco eh. Pwede silang ma-acquire, no? Huwag na silang mag-build, no? Mag-acquire na lang sila kaagad. Yung mga discounted na, properties and okay pa rin naman yung kanyang, sentiment. Medyo nag-retreat lang ng konti. Number 9, SGP. The holding company of the NGCP, a core defensive play for institutional investors seeking steady income. So nagkakagulo yung investing community, retail investing community ng mga nakaraan. It's over na daw kay SGP kasi yung news na pwede daw yung mga private na mag-build ng grid. So ang stand ko dyan in the short term, I think beneficial sa kanila yon. Gawa lang din nila kayang i-build mag-isa yung sobrang daming requirement ng ng ERC. Pero in the long term, once na lumaki yung mga yung mga nagbi-build ng yung mga private na magbi-build ng grid, that's competition. Okay. So far, naglalaban pa rin yung mga investor. Ano kaya? Paakyat pa ba? Bahala na kayo dyan. Okay? The firm is drawing steady fund flows as high yield dividends. Hindi naman siya high yield ngayon eh. So sa ngayon, it looks like mamimigay siya ng 0.3474. Apat na ganyan, no? Babalik niya yung per quarter na dividend rate. led by 29.9. So, 4.6% yield. So, hindi na siya high yield. And binabalik niya to kasi nakakuha siya ng mga recoveries niya eh, no? Ayan. Recoveries sa kanyang mga mga tariff adjustment, revenue adjustment o mga nakaraang taon na nilalaban niya matagal na. Pero, ang laki na utang nito. Okay. Once na nag-normalize yung kanyang earnings, na mangyayari ulit yan, I think 2027 onwards. And hindi niya natapisan yung kanyang utang, baka bumaba ulit yung kanyang dividend rate. Number 10, PhilInvest announce a major acceleration of its industrial park and logistics hub. So, Central Luzon and Southern Tagalog. So, ito iba naman yung binabanatan niya, no? Mga industrial park daw. Problema, stagnant yung growth nito ngayon eh. And just like Villar, no? Malaki din yung nito. Leverage niya. So, flattish. Basta stock price na ito, FLI, hindi rin maganda yung sentiment sa yung stock price. Kasi nga malaki utang niya and papasok na naman tayo sa interest rate hike environment. Number 11, LTG felt intense market scrutiny as its tobacco and beverage division navigated tightening domestic regulatory structure. So yung kanyang tobacco, matagal nang matagal nang nagde-decline. Binubuhat na lang siya ngayon ng kanyang PNB, Philippine National Bank. And yung kanyang tobacco segment, nagde-decline pa rin siya pero paunti-unti na lang, no. Di tulad nung mga nakarang taon na sobrang laki nang dinedecline niya every year. The group is counting on the strong performance of its banking unit kasi nga yan na yung nagbubuhat sa kanya ngayon. So kung nag-decline ng PNB, yun na, magde-decline na yung performance ng LTG. Helping it maintain a consistent dividend distribution track record. So far, generous pa rin mamigay si LTG. Kasi nga, okay pa rin yung na-maintain pa rin yung kanyang performance and nagde-declare ng dividend ang PNB. Number 12, GT Cap experience high volume as its automotive manufacturing and distribution arm. Wala na eh. Feeling ko mayayari yung Toyota, no? Napapansin ko, dumadami yung nag-electric car eh, sa Pilipinas, no? Most especially BYD. Ang dami nila, parami ng padami. Parang halos every time may nakikita akong BYD eh. So kung pamahal pa rin ng pamahal yung sakyan ng Toyota Motors, I think may kalalagyan tong Toyota Motors Philippines. So hindi maganda sentiment to. Na-wipe out yung kanyang rally on previous years with the BSP keeping policy rates at 4.75%. Auto loan applications are facing stricter bank vetting kasi marami nang hindi magbayad dyan eh. Ang tagal nang mataas yung interest rate ng Pilipinas, tapos di pa maganda yung economic outlook natin, GDP growth. So baka na-squeeze yan yung mga consumer spending eh. Si REIT successfully lock in long-term lease agreements for its newly acquired solar land parcel. Basta mga rate ngayon na ngayong may tawag nito, yung interest rate hike ulit. So nagsa-sideways, no? Just like other REIT. So meron pa rin siyang strong investor interest due to its unique property asset mix. Pero si REIT, puro flat na yung dividends yan eh. Kailangan mag-infuse ulit to ng bagong asset para potentially may angat niya yung kanyang dividend rate. Number 14, SPNEC pushes forward with its massive solar farm. Yung Terra Solar Phase 1 dapat matapos siya or scheduled matapos siya second half ng 2026. Aiming to secure grid connections ahead of schedule. Kapag natapos yan, yan, di ba? Dahil majority owner na si Mer dito, growth driver din yan ng Meralco. The stock continues to be a high beta favorite among retail traders. Kasi more on speculation, matatapos yung kanyang kanyang Terra Solar, and pag natapos ba siya, magiging or magmumukha bang cheap yung business? So far, di maganda yung sentiment sa stock. And lastly, number 15, Manila Water. Accelerated transition to clean energy sources across its pumping and wastewater treatment. The shift to solar and renewable energy contracts allows the utility firm to reduce its pampaganda ng image, pero ang alam ko nagko-correct ngayon yung mga water utilities. Ayan. So MWC correcting mostly due to interest rate hike yan kasi malaki utang nito Maynilad, ayun, diba? Nagko-correct din siya. Actually, lahat ng blue chip correcting ngayon Meralco. Ayun, di ba? Kasi nga, pumahit na naman yung sentiment sa stock market, hindi natuloy yung peace deal, pero yung crude oil, mababa siya ngayon So pag nagstay na mababa yung crude oil, ang mangyayari niyan, yung Q3 ng madaming companies, that could be yung kanilang magiging rebound na quarter, no? Recovery quarter, Q3 tsaka Q4.